Not hearing you yet for some reason. Maybe it's on my end. Hang on. There we go. Whoa.
Hi.
Whoa, there we are. Modern technology at its finest.
Hard to understand. Study what you know and can. Show compassion to end. Not so hard to understand. Mirror what you shown in hand. Flow with passion to the sand.
I've played it on the air. I play it in my car. I think I've even fallen asleep to it at night. It's a beautiful song. Jennifer Hall is my guest. Hello.
Hi.
It is wonderful to meet you
Thank you
and
so much.
to have you here. Well, thank you for joining us. SFA is the new song, and I understand SFA, what it actually means, is a big secret, so I'm not even going to ask.
I haven't revealed to anybody, and it's not that that crazy of a,
Is this like
no.
Carly Simon's "You're So Vain" about who we're talking about? Here?
It is, but I don't think it's that thrilling of an abbreviation. It's not about a romantic interest. It's
Okay.
about someone that I know,
Mm-hmm.
and
I think it's it's a positive, uplifting song, right?
yeah, it is. It's, to me, as far as like writing the song goes and approaching this tune, it really was about kind of that moment when I personally decided it's about me and some of my life experiences, about kind of leaning into kind of choosing a more empathetic approach when hearing of somebody's struggles or kind of seeing them struggle, and kind of trying to push myself to see myself in them to avoid kind of going the more, sort of judgmental route.
Yeah.
So, and I think that is a really nice feeling to have for yourself. And I think that kind of is a good, good vibe to put out into the world. So I think it's positive. Yeah.
Now today more than ever, for sure. We're gonna pop it in here and let folks hear it, and we'll be back to talk with Jennifer Hall. Here's SFA on Gem 98.7, Magic 97.7.
Like a faded flower, but forever in your mind's way. You didn't like the first time, and you're falling in the same place. Where you'll fly, but forever in your mind's way.
Gem 98.7, Magic 97.7. Lee Richey with you. Jennifer Hall is my guest, and that was SFA. During the break, she told me what it meant, but I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah.
So, no, she didn't. She didn't.
You're
The mystery
only
continues.
person who knows.
I feel very special.
I trust you completely.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now we're doing a Zoom chat, and I didn't know how you were going to look. Your videos, you look so different, whether you're covered with paint or different color or styles of hair. But you look great.
Thank you. At first I thought, oh wait, what do you mean? And then instantly I was like, oh right.
Yeah.
It's because my hair and the color of paint, everything has changed constantly. Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah.
Good.
Totally fair.
The song has a very ethereal kind of feel to it, and I love your vocal. It's
Thank
just
you.
so nice and pleasant to listen to.
Thank you.
This is really the first thing that I've heard from you. Is this typical of everything you've done in the past, or no?
You mean in terms of
The style and just the delivery of it.
Yeah, I would say this is actually pretty, from a vocal perspective, it's a bit different. I would say lyrically, it's a bit similar. I try to write in sort of this, in a very biographical way, but with some degree of code, if you will. Like I'm not always completely revealing in terms of kind of maybe subject matter or who I'm referencing, as we've discussed for SFA.
A little vague. Read between the lines.
Yeah, exactly. But vocally, this is definitely different. Noam Wallenberg, who is my musical partner and who's produced all of our work thus far, and also plays guitar in the band. He produced this song and really pushed for me to give this sort of new vocal approach a try, something softer, something more gentle, more delicate. And I think that's really what the song called for, you know, in terms of kind of what the song means, kind of taking a more gentle approach with a human being. There's obviously that really nice parallel in terms of singing with a bit more of a softness, if you will. So I'm really pleased that you are into it. That is really cool.
I think the way you're saying it's perfect for the song, but I'm a guitar guy, but I love the mix on the chorus, especially how that guitar lays underneath everything, but yet it's so predominant as well.
Yeah, Noam produced the song, and I think just did an absolutely killer job. Yeah, those hits in the chorus, they still get me, and
I know.
It's like we wrote it, but it's we're proud of it. We worked really hard on creating something kind of new and different, and are happy with it.
People that are liking it, can they get a copy?
Yes, absolutely. So there are a few ways to sort of digest and consume SFA, if you will.
See, you're too young, but it used to be you'd walk into a record store and go to the 45 rack.
Yeah, you know, we did press white vinyl back in a handful of years ago. We put out our first record in 2015, which is seems like a lifetime ago. But pressed some white vinyl and then toured like crazy and
very cool.
For a handful of years. But hopefully we'll have another vinyl for you. So when that happens, I'll make sure to reach out.
So, but people can get this at all the Spotify and Amazon, all the usual download spots, iTunes.
They can also purchase it if they want to purchase it. That would be lovely.
Yeah, for sure.
It's on Bandcamp, or if you want to stream it, Spotify, SoundCloud, it's everywhere there. We've got a music video that we created that we put out in January. And then we just released a really special lyric video with kind of the intention of showcasing the lyrics a bit more, so you can sing along now. And those videos are on YouTube.
Very cool. You are based in Chicago. Is that where you've pretty much been and grew up?
Yes. I am originally from a suburb about 45 minutes outside of the city, and I've been in the city proper for about 12 years, and that's where we've constructed our band and the new iterations of our band as band members' lives grow and change and people swap in and out. I lived in Nashville for a year.
Did you?
Yeah, back in 2000. 7,
Mm-hmm.
where that was kind of really it was really my first time like living away from home, to be quite frank. In
Okay.
07, I think I was 20. Now I'm 33. So it was a while ago, but it was really fun being there. And Nashville's changed a lot.
Oh, it
in
totally
13
has.
years.
Nashville's like my second
Yeah.
home. And
No way.
yeah, so much music. My son went to Belmont, and
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
I'm down there for radio things all the time. But
Yeah.
it's surprising when you go down there that it's not just country music. I mean, it's all across the genres.
Yes, absolutely. It really, really is. They have some fantastic venues there, and we have toured there a bunch. So we played the basement
Oh, very
and
cool.
some other wonderful, wonderful spots down there. Yeah, it's changed so much. It's a great city, full of life.
Have you been singing since you can remember?
You know, only very recently in the last few years did I have one of my parents reveal that apparently I was singing when I was really, really young, like 2 or 3 years old. But the first memories I have of singing were from when I was about 10 or 11. And I was petrified anytime, like I loved being able to share
Yeah.
songs and to sing for people, but I would have them sit in another room because I was petrified of singing in public. Terribly shy. Just
So when did that all change? When did you decide this is what I want to do for a living, and I'm going to have to set foot on stage eventually?
I'm gonna have to see a human person.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's like radio for me. I don't have to look at people.
Oh, maybe I should look into that. Maybe
There
my
you go.
10-year-old self should look into that.
Exactly.
You know, I think probably within, I don't know, maybe like a year or so, like pretty soon after
Okay.
I started singing, again, to the best of when I can first remember, around 10 or so, did I really think, oh my God, I love this. Like I felt instantly just that it was in my blood. It was in my bones. Just, it was a part of me. This is what I was going to do. I never
couldn't
had
really imagine doing anything else. Yeah.
No.
Family supportive?
Yes, which is good. Family and friends, very supportive. I've also kind of tried to make sure to encourage myself to accept the fact that maybe the goals that I had, maybe early on, it's okay for those goals to change or for them to look a little different as the music business has changed, obviously.
Right.
So I try to just kind of take things as they come and just continue to focus on making music that's authentic for us. And it's lovely when it seems, you know, that music touches somebody and is moving to someone else. That's lovely.
When did you start writing? Do you remember the first song that you ever wrote?
Sure, I do. Oh gosh, I won't repeat it. It was poor. It was quite poor. I just want to emphasize how poor it was.
Was it about homework and boys and like gym class or what? Maybe
boys.
not that. Yeah,
Definitely about boys.
definitely.
For sure. So I think the writing portion came much later, and I found that I really learned a lot about myself throughout kind of the experience of writing. But the writing didn't come as easily and it didn't come as quickly, for sure. I was probably about maybe 18 or 19.
Okay.
When I first started writing. I think initially I felt so much of a thrill and so much enjoyment from just singing. And then I kind of thought, well, maybe I could like sing about my life and about myself, and maybe I have something to say. But I was nervous. I was scared.
Do you think it because you were being very critical of yourself and what you were writing down?
I think so. And I think it's very revealing, you know, to write, even if it's not about yourself. I mean, your perspective is really put out on public display. It's a point of great vulnerability. I think that you get in to write and kind of share how you see the world and your thoughts. And I feel more comfortable with that now, realizing that, hey, everyone has a chance to share how they see the world. That's okay.
And it's very therapeutic, I would imagine, to put it to pen and paper. But then, you know, if you're writing about something in your life, you know, like a breakup or, you know, it's something sad, and you sing it every night for a number of years, I can imagine it opening the wound every single time you sing it.
Yes, it's really interesting that you say that, because some feedback that we received when we toured, because we've toured for years and years and years and years.
Have you been up to New York?
Yes.
Have you?
Yes.
Well, you'll have to get back up here again.
I would love that. I think I made efforts to find a show and a date. And obviously with touring, there are lots of different pieces of the puzzle to kind of make a route work and all of that. I tried to find a spot in Buffalo and in Westchester, but it didn't quite work out at that time. But we've been to New York City several times.
Right.
But yeah, oftentimes people would say that they really felt like we performed, and I performed, I suppose, in a way that was very in the moment. And I really appreciated that feedback because it was hard to do. And some of my subject matter, I think can be a bit heavier at times. Yeah. And so I really appreciated that people kind of felt that and noted that, and that was important to them. Because it is hard. It wears on you. That's
cool that they could actually, experience that and see that as you perform the songs. Yeah. I'm
so grateful that they felt that, because that was the intention wholeheartedly.
That says something.
I want to phone it in, Yeah.
We're talking to Jennifer Hall. Her song is SFA. Check it out and pick yourself up a copy. Do artists make albums anymore? Or is it just kind of write a song over breakfast, record it at lunch, and get it up there by dinner time?
Yeah, I think, from what I can tell, I think there are still countless artists making incredible albums for sure. Mm-hmm. I think if that's where your heart is as an artist, I think that's what you should do. But I can certainly understand wanting to feel, that sense of relevance in terms of just getting something out, putting out a single, because people's attention spans, I think, are maybe a little less than maybe they were before.
Perhaps.
Everything's very quick, and we have our screens, and
I appreciate you not looking at your phone during the interview, though. That's
hold
good.
on, I actually have to send this text.
Hey, thank you.
Okay.
No, but I agree. Well, is an album something that, is SFA going to appear on an album at some point? Yes, we are. We are bringing together a group of new songs, and since I would say about 2019, we've really been in that process of. We just kind of in 2019 we really began that process of cracking ourselves open, if you will, and working on developing a new batch of songs. We've tossed quite a few, and so that's why we're now in 2021 with, we've got the one song, and we've got a few other in the queue, which is exciting. But I want it to be right, and I think Noam and I, we put all this music together. We want to make sure it's something that feels right, that feels authentic, and it feels purposeful. So we're not rushing ourselves, but it will definitely appear on something special, I hope, by the end of the year. I would love to see it. Has COVID been kind of a blessing in disguise as far as giving you time to be creative and work in the studio and all that?
Yeah, I would say yes and no.
Yeah.
I've spoken to some other artists that have also experienced this, where they've felt certainly this sort of heightened pressure to be creative, or they've kind of felt like, maybe a sense of guilt for not creating as much as maybe someone might assume that they would be creating,
right.
If that makes sense. But I think it's okay to acknowledge that this has been a collective, worldwide sort of trauma, if you will. And it's okay, I think, for anybody that like, I think if someone's feeling like, oh, I've got all this time, I'm going to go be creative, I think that's amazing. But I hope that other artists don't feel the necessity to compare themselves to someone who's putting out all this music during this time.
I mean, if you just want to lay on the couch and watch Netflix during this time, that's okay.
Yeah, I think that's very understandable. I think we're all going to be like digesting, like, what in the heck just happened? What is happening for a while? And I think that's okay. And it's a good time to be kind of kind to ourselves.
Right.
But that said, we certainly had pockets of time where we did feel very creative and put together some new songs when maybe we would have had to have been working or doing something else. So yes and no.
There you go. Jennifer Hall is our guest. Thank you so much for joining us today. And it's lovely to find out more about you. And I can't wait to hear more of your music. Out there on the web, social media, are you involved in that pretty good?
Yes, absolutely. I would love if anybody wants to kind of stay in touch. On Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, it's just the @ and then Jennifer Hall Music. So 2 N's, 2 L's, Jennifer Hall Music. And I post lots of photos of us recording and touring when that comes around again, and little sneak previews and things like that. So
what's the immediate future for you here?
Sure. Well, we are putting together some preparations, or we are preparing, so to speak, for a new release. And I'll give you a little, I don't know that I've talked about this too much, so I hope this is a little bit of an exclusive. Okay,
go for it.
That's to come. I've mentioned it, I think, once or twice on Instagram, but it's called Why Cut Time. Why Cut Time. Okay. That's going to be the next song that we'll put out. And then we'll also be kind of at the same time preparing this new group of songs, hopefully for a vinyl, which sounds like
gotta get me a copy.
I will.
That's it. Well, thank you so much, Jennifer, and good luck with everything. We hope to see you up here in Western New York one of these days.
That would be wonderful. Thanks so much for having me.
Jennifer Hall, more music on the way. Gem 98.7, Magic 97.7.